While India and the rest of the world battle a pandemic which originated in China, the Chinese have opened up a new battlefront, this one involving troops and weapons along India's contested border with Tibet. Indian and Chinese troops remained engaged in an eyeball-to-eyeball situation in several disputed areas along the line of actual control in Eastern Ladakh. As a result, not since the standoff in Doklam in 2017 has the relationship between India and China actually hit such a low ebb. The coming weeks and months could determine the future of India-China relations and indeed China's relationship with the rest of Asia and the world. But the key question is, why now? What is the message that China is seeking to send? The first publicized incident of the ongoing standoff took place on May 5th. This is if you look at the chronology, when Chinese troops tried to block an Indian patrol in the Pangong Lake region of Eastern Ladakh. Similar confrontations have been provoked by China in the Galwan Valley in Ladakh and in the Nakula Mountain Pass in Sikkim a few days later. So, what has motivated the Chinese to ratchet up their aggression despite confidence building measures and efforts and summit meetings between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping? Two developments stand out, both of which have a commercial angle, and these seem to be the reason. First, on April 19th, India revised its foreign investment policy to tighten investment rules for companies sharing a land border with India. A few days later, in early May, media reports said that India was developing a land pool twice the size of Luxembourg to host companies leaving China because of widespread anger at Beijing's handling of COVID. There's a critical point here. India was openly setting itself up as a commercial and foreign investment competitor to China. In other words, India was setting itself up to be an investment destination and a preferred investment hotspot for all companies that was planning to reshore out of China. So, according to many experts, how has China reacted? China has used its military might to provoke India into a border standoff. Because it was in India's economic interests that companies move out of China to India, and India was actually rising to the occasion and setting itself up to be a preferred investment destination. Eventually, the might of any military structure is always measured in money. And this is how the anxieties in the Chinese establishment probably are showing up and manifesting itself on the borders with India.